So if I was starting all over again, learning piano in 2025, these are the three big things I would make sure I do. So if you are watching this and you have been thinking about wanting to start to learn how to play piano, or you're currently a piano student, this is your year. This is your time, and you are going to crush it because you are going to do these three powerful things. Now, how do I know these three tips work? Well, if you don't know me, my name is Matt Hodge, and for the last 15 years, I've been a music professor and a professional piano player, and I've worked with hundreds of students. And these three tips are the big things that I wish someone had told me when I was starting piano. So we are going to walk through each of these big ones through this video. We are going to look at what do I want you to try, what do I want you to mix, and what do I want you to remember? So, let's dive into them. Number one, try all different types of music. Now, does this mean try every single music style ever known in the history of the world? No, but we can get past sort of the old traditional way of piano lessons where it used to be very siloed, very much you only studied classical piano or you only studied jazz piano or a bunch of different stuff. I think you need to experience it all. Once I started to broaden my horizons and study different types of music styles, oh my gosh, the world opened up to me and they helped influence each other. It made me better in one style when I also embraced another one because they all have something to learn from each other. So I don't want you to automatically decide for yourself what type of piano player you're going to be. You don't know what type of music you might find a talent for or a skill at or a passion for until you try it. So open yourself up to a bunch of different styles of music. I remember it was years before I first started to dive into jazz music because I was more traditionally trained. And once I did, it was a whole other world that opened up to me, which I loved. And then there was a period that I did a lot more classical. But instead of having these eras of your life where you focus on one, I would now embrace them all together. So study and be excited to learn a bunch of different types of music. Don't just decide for yourself already, this is the type of music I want to play. And force yourself to play something that may scare you. So if you want to just be a classical pianist, practice also diving into jazz. If you want to be a jazz pianist, also try pop music and Broadway stuff. And, try it all. Don't limit yourself. You never know what you're going to end up having a deep passion for. Number two, I want you to mix up the different ways you learn and practice piano and music. So I want you to mix up reading sheet music, playing by ear, and improvising. Now, why is that important? Besides just what we talked about in number one of diversifying the type of music you're excited to learn, it's equally important to diversify how do you train your ears and eyes and brain to take in music. Oftentimes, students just belong in one world. They just focus on reading sheet music in more of a traditional sense, or they don't do lessons at all and they just want to play by ear, or they just want to be able to make stuff up. All of it is important, and it all makes you better. So put equal emphasis. I would do that starting over. Put a lot of emphasis in, can you learn how to read sheet music? And then take the sheet music away and train yourself, can I play by ear? And if you don't know, playing by ear means you're not reading sheet music, you're hearing music and you're trying to figure out on the piano, what are those notes? What is that chord? What's that melody? And you get better at it. It's just like sheet music. You're training a muscle. And improvising, making up your own stuff. So all three are equally important, and I don't like when students only emphasize one because then they start to assume that one is better than the other. All are equal, all are important, and all make you a much stronger and holistic pianist. Number three, remind yourself why you started. Meaning, you need to constantly remind yourself, why did you want to learn how to play music in the first place? This is so important because once we get into piano lessons or studying piano and studying music, it then often becomes homework and a chore and something that can become a burden. And then we have to practice for hours and it starts to become something that we lose a fire for, a passion for, and it's become something we have to do. Now, yes, you should study hard. We should practice. We should want to get better. But it's so important to literally take time every day to remind yourself, Why did you want to learn how to play piano or want to learn how to do music? There had to have been a reason, and hopefully it was a personal reason. So not just I was thrown into piano lessons, or everyone in my family is a musician, so I had to as well. I want it to be a real reason. If you don't have a real reason or a personal reason, think about it, right? Now, it can be something really fun and heartwarming, like I wanted to learn how to play my favorite song on the piano. Or I know for me as a kid, it was I loved music in movies, and I wanted to sit at the piano and look at that. How can I play these awesome movie themes? For a lot of young people, it's, what songs did I hear in movies? What can I play all my favorite Disney songs? Whatever it is. But remind yourself, what was it that got you into it? And then the way you're going to remind yourself about that is you are going to take a few minutes every day to do that. So if you have had a hard day where you're studying music and you were at the piano practicing for an hour or 2 hours, before you just get away from it and need a break from it, I don't want you to walk away from it. I want you to put the studying away and remind yourself. So whether that's you just play a song you love, or you play the song you were excited to learn how to play in the very beginning, or if you can't play stuff yet on the piano, you just sit at the piano and listen with headphones. What was the music you loved? Just remind yourself. It's a way to emotionally take care of yourself, because if it just becomes a chore and you forget why you even started to begin with, you won't stick with it. All right? I'm a big believer we can marry hard work and studying and practicing with passion, fun, love, and you're always going to do that. That is so important. And that's even more important the harder the practices get and the more stressful the days get when you're trying to learn something, or you're just so sick of studying scales and chords. Find a way to remind yourself. Don't just walk away from music. Dive into your favorite type of music, either at the piano or listening to it, and remind yourself what it was that got you into it, because you had a reason. And I don't care if the reason was a cute reason when you were a kid, or a heartwarming reason, or a serious reason of, someone that I love in my life wanted this for me and I want to make them proud. Whatever it is, but find a personal reason that will motivate you. So then you go to bed at night remembering, this is why I love it. This is why it's fun, or this is why it feels good. This was a goal that I had. It's always important to remember that. I often will just sit at the piano and play the Disney songs or the movie themes that I loved as a kid that I remember wanting to learn how to play on the piano. And even as an adult, I'll just sit and I'll kind of smile, because I'll remember that giddiness I felt the first time I learned how to play it on the piano. And I want that feeling for you, and we never want to lose that feeling. Okay? So, if you are starting piano in 2025, you are going to not limit yourself with what type of music you want to play. I want you to have a passion and interest in a bunch of different types of music, because you never know what's going to click. I want you to mix up how you learn music. I want you to practice doing stuff with sheet music, learning that way, and playing by ear and improvising, and really mixing up the way you learn and hear music. And the most important, always remind yourself why you started to begin with. Okay? If you do these three things, you will crush piano, you will stick with it longer, you will enjoy it, you will be motivated to work hard to get better, but you'll never lose your eyes on the prize. You will remember why you started to begin with, why you wanted to learn, and you will not forget that, and that is how you are going to crush piano in 2025. Even my phone says so, if you heard that. I just got a text message. Okay, so keep making music and stick with me, because on the screen I am going to put a video that dives a lot deeper into number 3 that I just talked about. I made a whole video dealing with self-care as a pianist and how you do that daily reminder of why you love music. Okay, so check that video out. I'll see you over there. Until then, bye.